Back with another YouTube live stream. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, you Negroes. Shout out to the ninjas and the trolls. Hope everyone is doing well. We doing a double-double, y'all. Doing a double-double. Let's get some housekeeping out the way. If you don't want to be here, don't be here. Move around. Plenty of places to be out here in these YouTube streets. Shout out to Love Dorsey. Now, if you are going to be here, we welcome you to the People's Podcast. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and smash the bell. Make sure you share it to your socials. Facebook, TikTok, Black App, Black Chat, whatever, all of them. Subscribe and share. Hit the Cash App. Send me $5 on a Pure Leaf Tea Fund. Help your boy stay hydrated. I'm drinking brew right now, but keep me hydrated. I need some Pure Leaf. Yeah, man, we doubling up today, man. We might get the hat trick. I'm not calling it because I always jinx myself. So I'm not gonna call it. So right now we on the double-double. That's all I'm promising. My Spartans on the way in the door, y'all know what to do. Y'all hit the chat. Let us know what your profession is. Salute, salute, salute. All right? And that's a hashtag salute, salute, salute. Make sure y'all do it right. You come from someplace. Let everybody know where you come from. That's how we do over here. Okay? Subscriber mode is on in effect. Because y'all didn't do me right the other day. We had 5,000 people in here. I ain't get that many subscribers. I should have had 1,000 subscribers after that live stream. But we're going to correct the problem going forward. I know what to do. Make sure y'all subscribe to the People's Podcast. I am your host, the Heisenberg it is Ish, your favorite content creator's favorite content creator, the Dark Knight, the Dark Maga, the Day Walker, Pumpkin Escobar, Izzy Fingers. The ladies call me the Cookie Monster. I'm the artist, the author, formerly known as Van Johnson. My name is V. Ben Israel, the People's Champ. They call me the champ because I speak for y'all. I say the things that y'all want to say, but you can't say it because they're going to attack you. I take all that smoke for y'all. I take all of that smoke. Just tell them, Izzy said it. I ain't say it. Izzy said it. Bring them over here to me. I want that smoke. Believe me, I want that smoke. Come tell them to go one-on-one with the great one and see what happens. They got smoke. I got an answer for them. Okay, but otherwise, we got good manners over here. This is a learning environment. This isn't a debate forum. This is a learning environment. Okay, so mind your manners. I return energy very quickly. Very quickly. All right? Be nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Mind your manners. So, hey, look, we got a very important topic we're going to talk about tonight. So we're not going to riff off too much. I think I covered all the introductions. I think I covered them all. We're going to talk about a little bit of DV. A little bit of DV, domestic violence. We're going to talk about that. And I just finished watching MHD, Man of Fear Highlights Daily, one of the best content creators on YouTube. I have dropped a link in the description. Make sure you check out the video that we're going to be referencing, as well as subscribing to that channel. That brother is phenomenal. He's phenomenal. That's all I can say. I vouch for that 100%. 100%. I do not know him personally. I am a huge fan. I've been following him since the beginning, actually. That brother is killing the game right now. Okay? Make sure y'all subscribe to him. So he just did a stream, and I just was compelled to talk about it. and bring this awareness to my audience for personal reasons. Um, I have been a victim of domestic violence. Um, some of you know that if you've been following my channel, my long-term day ones, you know that. What I went through with my ex-wife and the domestic violence that I went through. And it's hard for men because it goes underreported. There are no resources. I was kicked out of buildings. I call ahead and say, hey, this happened to me and my kids. We need to get resources? We need to get help. Sure, come on down. I would come on down and they act like I never called. Oh, we don't help men. But y'all just told me to come down here. I took off of work. I took my kids out of school. I had an appointment. We don't help men. What? I had that happen more than once. That wasn't even just one time. I had that happen more than once. More than once that happened to me. Um, and my kids, you know. And I really was just trying to, I saw most men don't seek resources. I sought resources out because I was concerned about how this was going to affect my children, you know. And I mean, this is the Flickr days. So I was sharing a lot of my story on Flickr, my Flickr blog, and the pictures when they was pulling the glass out of my skull from the bottle she hit me with in my sleep. Yeah, I had to get staples in my head. I shared those, the pictures. So all of this is well documented going. I mean, this happened in 2008. So this is well documented. But I mean, even then, I mean, other men would talk shit to me. The police talk shit to me. Maybe if you learn how to handle your woman, we won't have to come by here. Like, yo, bitch ass. Now, if I had whooped their ass, y'all would have been taking me out of here in handcuffs. So men are basically, we got our hands tied behind our backs. You know, if I retaliate, I'm villainized and I'm punished. And if I don't do anything, I'm villainized and I'm punished. You know, so what I was focused on was just I didn't even care about myself. I cared about the effects on my children. That's what my mindset was. And I mean, I didn't even realize this shit was happening to me. I mean, I knew what was happening, but I didn't classify it as domestic violence. It wasn't until I woke up in the hospital, it was pulling the glass out of my skull. And my cousin Tamika, somehow I got her on the phone, and she's the one that actually called the ambulance, and they was able to come through my garage door. They didn't have to bust down my door, nothing. They came through my garage door, and I was passing out. I was losing so much blood. The blood was just pouring down my face, and they got me to the hospital. My cousin Tamika came to the hospital, her and her daughter, and they were pulling the glass out of my skull as I came to consciousness. And she gave me a flyer that day, a domestic violence flyer. I think they had it at the hospital. On one side were 20 characteristics of people who are abused, and the other side were 20 characteristics of people who do the abusing. My ex-wife hit 19 out of the 20 things for the people who were doing the abusing. And I checked off a lot of the boxes of the things I was going through. It's not just physical, it's financial, it's emotional, it's psychological. They want to control your where you go. They want to control your money. They want to alienate you from your family and your friends. There was so many things on this list. So if you are experiencing these things, there is a domestic violence hotline. Um, I strongly recommend that you reach out, seek resources, seek help, and talk. I mean, today we have YouTube. We didn't have YouTube in 2008 where I could express myself. And I was trying. I was doing it on Flickr on my blog, you know, trying to get it out, because now I got one custody of my kids. Um, Eventually, the police came and arrested her. She fled the scene, stole my car, and then when I got out of the hospital, I had to go to my aunt's house because I had to be under 24-hour watch. I had a concussion. So I got home before her, and she tried to play the victim, and the police knocked on my door like, why do you have the door barricaded? Why won't you open the door? I'm like, are y'all shitting me? Then I showed them the staples on my head. They like, who did that? I'm like, she did. They went to the car and checked her name and ran. See, at this point, they hadn't run her name. They ran her name, and sure enough, it was a warrant for her arrest. Then when I went to court, of course, they gave she had stole my kids. So I had to go 2 hours away to get my kids from her family, which they didn't want to give up. So I had to fight with the magistrate judge in that town. We had to actually threaten to have the fire department take the door off the hinges so I could get my kids. They had my kids, hide my kids in the fucking bathroom. So anyway, now I'm a single father with 4 kids, and well, I had there was 3 kids at that time. Brooklyn wasn't here yet. Um, Sundiata was a newborn, and I got the kids. I didn't have custody of Sundiata yet, but I had custody of Dream and Imagine. You know, those kind of things. I wasn't really dealing with my own trauma. I mean, I had anxiety, depression. I couldn't go out in public for like a year. I would go out in public and I would just freak the fuck out. Like, didn't even know I was doing it. I tried to take my kids to see no, not Batman, fucking Spider-Man, when Spider-Man first came out. And we was at the mall, we was at North Lake Mall, and we was walking around the mall after the movie, and tears was just running down my face. I was okay when we was in the movie because it was dark. We went to a matinee, it wasn't that many people there. But inside the mall, it was just so many people, and I didn't even realize I was crying, and my kids looked at me, and it was like, Dad, you know what? We can go home. Let's just go home. We can come to the mall another day. They were aware of what was going on. I wasn't, and we got to the car, and they were, why are you crying, Dad? Why are you crying? I didn't know. I couldn't even answer them. I didn't even fucking know. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I'm just thinking I'm sweating, and it was hot that day. It was the summertime. That's what was going on with me. But I tried to get help for that, and I never did. I eventually overcame it, and that was also one of these reasons why I started blogging and eventually video blogging and vlogging, as we call it now, and podcasting, because I wanted to share my story. I didn't want to. I had seen so many older men who had died, and people tried to tell their story after they were dead. And I'm like, that's not true. So I didn't want nobody to tell my story. I didn't want nobody after I'm going to say, this is what your dad thought. This is what Van thought. This is what Israel thought. Whatever you call me. I didn't want nobody defining me. I wanted to find myself. Even in my father's funeral in 2019, I thought that way. People were trying to define my father. I'm listening to the stories like that ain't my father. Like, they was actually talking about me in many of the stories that they were sharing, that they thought they were talking about my dad. Me and my father look a lot alike. I was just taller than him. But a lot of his friends, we shared Facebook friends. So they would confuse our posts. They was like, yeah, that man was brilliant, man. And he used to post all of these food pictures, and he wrote books. And I'm like, no, that wasn't my dad. That was me. My father was a chef, but he didn't post a lot of food pictures. I did. Remember, I'm the inventor of food porn, hashtag food porn. I've been doing that shit. 10, 15 years ago, I started calling it food porn on Flickr, you know. Um, I'll never get no credit for none of these things, of course, but, whatever. Don't care. Don't matter. Um, but, yeah, so I didn't want nobody telling my story. I didn't want that happening. And I wanted other men who are going through my situation, you know, you're not a punk, you're not soft, you're not masculine, you're not a simp or any of that kind of shit that people will try to call you, man. You're a human fucking being. That's what you are. Men cry. Y'all seen me cry a few times on this damn podcast. Remember when my cousin died recently? A couple years ago down in Jamaica? Remember when my father died, man? Hell, remember? Yeah. I have no problem sharing the full range of my emotions, you know. A lot of men like to hide their emotions and try to do shit secretly. I am fully comfortable with who I am. Okay? I have no problem with that. And I wanted other men to be able to express themselves emotionally. You know, we have emotions. We're just not governed by them. You know, but they do affect us. You know. So the stat says that, and I believe this stat, 45% of black women experience domestic violence. 100% true. That is a fact. That is a fact. And of course, you had punk asses, simp, hotep ass ninjas like Dr. Umar going, you know, because immediately he hears that started, and women are being victimized and blah, blah, blah. And just because you are the victim of domestic violence don't mean you're the victim. Okay? You understand? Just because you are affected by domestic violence doesn't mean you are the victim in that scenario. A lot of y'all are confused right now. What do you mean, Izzy? What do you mean, Izzy? I don't understand. I know he did it, didn't he? Bad guy. He the bad guy. Because women tell the story where they're the hero and the victim in every story they tell. I don't understand. How can you be the antagonist and the protagonist at the same time in every story? But this is this fine line, and I'm not trying to pick on women. I'm telling the truth. This isn't an attack. This is a statement of fact. Everything you don't like, ladies, doesn't mean it's an attack. You just don't like it. Okay, whatever. Doesn't make it not true. Doesn't make it not true. And some of you are mature enough to understand exactly what I'm saying, especially when it's a woman on woman situation, whether it's an interpersonal relationship between women or not. You understand when it's woman on woman, see that whole victim shit goes, you can't play that game when it's another woman. Both women can't be the victim. All right? Both people can't be, you so used to being the antagonist, but when you got another woman on the other side, it's hard to be the antagonist. It's hard. And that's why domestic violence is highest among lesbian women. That's the highest percentage of domestic violence relationships are lesbian women, because they're both so used to playing the victim. And they're also both used to being passive aggressive and initiating the violence. See, 70% in domestic violence, even though 45% of black women experience domestic violence, the stats that they're leaving out, 70% of those domestic violence situations were initiated by that woman or by the woman. Also, what they're leaving out is 40% of black men experience domestic violence. Whoa, wait a minute. See, it's not as one-sided as they try to paint the picture. So 45% of women experience it and 40% of men experience domestic violence. But 70% of the domestic violence is initiated by, not bi-directional, from the woman directly to the man. That's that passive aggressive, that's that attitude, that's that need to be right, and eventually the other person is gonna get fed up. Right? Remember, I tell y'all about the scripture all the time with the water. dropping on your head, bloop, bloop, bloop. That'll drive you fucking crazy. And that's a lot of the times just the symbolism I'm using to describe the passive aggressiveness of it. Okay. But we have to start having these open conversations. And I warn you ladies too, because there are some crazy dudes out here. There are some unstable dudes, and especially in today's modern environment, this millennial generation and younger who are raised exclusively by their mothers, by single mothers, they're very emotional. Okay? They have a lot of effeminate characteristics, these younger men, and they'll fuck you up. These dudes ain't playing no games, man. We used to joke about the crazy dudes, you threaten to call the police on him and he dialed 911 on himself. That's how it used to be in the 90s. You got some dudes that's way worse than that today. And y'all play games with them. Them dudes ain't scared to go to jail. They love jail. They can't wait to get back to jail. They don't grew up in juvie and in and out of that kind of system all their life, and in county, and might have did a bid in the feds. They live that life. They don't give a fuck. Y'all better stop playing with them dudes. And even if they didn't experience it themselves, that jail shit, they grew up in the jail culture. They had brothers, they had uncles, they had cousins, they had friends who lived that jail life. So they are familiar with what that environment is like and what it's like to go through that, right? So y'all better stop playing with them dudes. But y'all push that out, I told y'all what I used to call y'all habitual, what Charlie Murphy called it. Shout out to the late great Charlie Murphy. Y'all habitual line steppers. He was talking about Rick James, but the same applies to y'all. Y'all are habitual line crossers. Men understand there's a thin line that separates men before we get violent with each other. There's a line that you should not cross. Y'all women cross all over that line. Y'all, especially in today's world. Because women today in America, you are the safest group of women. You are the wealthiest group of women. You are the freest group of women in the world, in history, anywhere on the planet. That is 100% true. And some of you, not all of you, some of you abuse that. And you think you can talk to people any kind of way. You can say, we're seeing this with Kamala. Mamala does this. She, especially because of her, she's not a black woman, but because of her proximity to you, she's adopted a lot of your characteristics. And she gets sassy. For example, a lot of you don't, you just hating on Mamala and it. You're a Trump supporter, No, listen. Just listen. Try to learn what I'm saying. Maybe there's some truth to what I'm saying. So here's the proof of what I'm saying. I'm going to justify why I said what I just said. Remember that rally, that campaign event she did? She was quoting Quavo, and like my good friend Quavo said, if you got something to say it to my face. Talking to Trump. I don't want no president. I don't want a prominent female figure who should be an example to my daughters, because I have sons and daughters, putting that kind of attitude out there so my daughters think it's cute to be sassy with men. Fuck no. I don't want that, because I know where that leads to. Somebody gonna whoop that ass. See, Kamala ain't grow up like we grow up. That's why she think it's cute to say shit like that. She don't understand them that in a black community, foundational Black American community, we understand that those are fighting words. Could you imagine if a man said that to another man? Yeah, you got something to say, come say it to my face. And when the dude pulls up, it's on that site because those are fighting words. Could you imagine if a president said that to another world leader? Trump go over there and say that to Vladimir or some shit. He talk shit on TV and then go see Vladimir, and we be in World War III with that kind of talk. It's reckless, but she thinks it's cute. I grew up in a neighborhood of all women. Well, not all women, but a lot of women in my neighborhood. It was only a few of us guys, but it was a lot of girls. And them girls was tough. Again, I grew up in Newark, East Orange, Irvington, Orange. I grew up in the bricks, okay, as we fondly call it, right? I grew up in the bricks. These girls ain't played. It was tough. They'll fight you. My grandmother told me, don't be letting these girls beat you up. Don't come home after you done got beat up with one of them girls. My grandmother said, if they step to you like a man, you beat they butt like a man. That was my grandmother's philosophy. So all of that, don't hit a girl shit, I ain't grow up with that. My grandmother ain't play that at all. No, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Men against Amazonian masterhood. What is it? I think I'm leaving part of it out, ma'am. Men against that's it. Men against Amazonian masterhood. Shout out to Ed O'Neill. Shout out to Ed Bundy for giving us that acronym, right? Way back in the late 90s, right? I gotta find my T-shirt. I might have to order another one. Got one somewhere. No, ma'am. That was Al Bundy's little crew. They used to meet in the garage and shit. They had their little masks on. Him and Jefferson had their little boys. Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy was the last TV dad, last masculine TV dad. We ain't had very many. He was the last one. We done had some punk ass dads ever since then. TV dads. Bernie Mac, I guess, is kind of masculine. I don't know. I have to think about that. Maybe Bernie Mac. Maybe Bernie Mac. Rest in peace to the Mac. Mac, the pussy tastes like pumpkin pie? The hell you asked me a question like that for? I ain't never had no pumpkin pie. Kick it. Shout out to Bernie Mac. Rest in peace to the late, great Bernie Mac. Did I do that? No. Ain't that nice? Ain't that better? Patrice O'Neill. Shout out to... We had some masculine comedians, man. We had a few of them, man. And we done lost them because we got some goofy dudes now, man. Kevin Hart is goofy. Dave Chappelle is low-key masculine. He's masculine, but don't really advocate for it. But every now and then, if you listen to Dave Chappelle's stand-up, he'll let it slip out. He'll tell a story where his masculine shit come out. I think his wife is funny. I want her to do some stand-up. I bet you she got some fucking stories to tell. I bet you she is a funny ass woman. Shout out to Mrs. Chappelle. I want to hear her do some stand-up. Little Filipino self. Shout out to Ed O'Neill. Shout out to Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neill, Bernie Mac. Shout out to the greats. We have to. I'm a male rights activist. I know I have a lot of female subscribers now. I know. But understand, this is a male rights activist channel. But I want us to understand each other, and I want men particularly to understand women. Men, you are not going to change women. So get that out your head. Stop listening to these manosphere, blue pill raging, goofball, dating coach, passport bro type dudes who ain't really passport bros, they vacation bros. Stop listening to them goofy ninjas. Okay? You're not going to change women. It's not a numbers game. It's not. The number is one. That's the number. And that's always been the number. Find you a quality woman and make that shit work, man. That's what it's about. They're all over the place. I see them all over the place. I think I found me one. Had a good conversation with her today, and she the only woman I talked to today. Gorgeous girl. She the right height. She got the dreads. Y'all know I'm weak for them dreads, boy. She got the lips. Ooh. She got a good mindset. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Your boy getting weak. I'm getting woozier, you know. I'm getting woozier. Coach, save me. I'm getting weak, coach. I need coach to come in here and give me a boot camp on the free agent lifestyle. But I'm getting weak, coach. I'm getting weak. She might get me. I'm intrigued by her, though. She has the right mindset. Y'all know that's what turns me on the most about a woman is the mindset of a woman. And I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Ironically, she's from Queens. She down here with me, but it's actually, I told y'all I have never been in a relationship with a New Yorker. But Queens is kind of, it ain't Brooklyn, Harlem, Bronx. Queens is more like Jersey. So far, so good. Good conversation so far. I'll keep y'all posted. I don't even think she know I'm a podcaster. She might have some interesting stuff to say, so might have to have her on. Might have to invite her on. Wait till I get my StreamYard fixed. Get my StreamYard fixed next between now and the end of the month. They should have me rolling again, and I can start having guests and be back to my normal production. But yeah, man, I'm intrigued by this one. I'm intrigued. She don't know I'm gonna ask you yet, though. Y'all be quiet. Don't tell her that. She don't know yet. I have to tell her later. I'll tell her soon when I talk to her. It's only my first day talking to her, but I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. I think she's gorgeous. Y'all know my scale is. I see beauty in people y'all don't. And sometimes y'all think people are beautiful that ain't beautiful to me, but yeah, she gorgeous to me. She got the look I like. She got that look. Got entrepreneurial shit going on. I like that. I definitely like that. Not overly. She's not a hustle chick with the, that chick that got too much hustle going on. And I want to write my own movies and produce my own movies and star in my own songs and write my own songs. And then I'm going to direct my own videos. Remember that chick from Coming to America? Remember that? She's not that chick. Always got some kind of multi-level marketing scam going, or I don't like them. But this one, I got a little side hustle, whatever. Little side hustles. That's the vibe I get. So that's cool. I find that interesting because that means she got shit to do. She ain't trying to keep up and micromanage the fuck out of me with the ain't that better? The Patrice O'Neal chick, ain't that better? She got shit going on. Hey, let me call you back in a few minutes. I got, hey, go ahead, boo. I know she got shit to do. I respect that. Hey, you ain't got to explain no shit. Go handle your business. I like that. So when I got to make a role, I got to make a move, hopefully she'll treat me with the same respect. No, I'm like, hey, let me hit you back. I got to handle something, All right, cool. I got to go jump on this podcast. I got to go do this coaching session or whatever I got going on, I like that. I like that. Local, usually when I find chicks I like Lena, Lena was chubby. I like them chubby chicks. This one ain't chubby. But Lena was in Chicago. I always find chicks I like that's way, way far away. It just happens that way. Even Red. When I met Red was in fucking Tampa and St. Pete. But it worked. It worked. It worked for a little while. Actually, the problem with me and Red happened when we got to Chicago, when she got on stomping grounds because her drinking got out of control. When she got back home, I was able to keep her under control when she was here in Charlotte, but when she got to Chicago, it was too much for me to handle. She got too violent, and she could fight. I mean, Red wasn't no punk. She wasn't no just a shit talking chick. That was one of the toughest chicks I ever seen in my life. Her and my cousin Keisha. Well, I don't know who to put my money on them, but them two chicks right there, that would be a hell of a fight, boy. That'd be Mike Tyson and Holyfield or some shit. Keisha and Red, now that I think about it. Shout out to my cousin Keisha up there in Harrisburg, PA. Love you, girl. Shout out to her brother, Tim Wright, also in Harrisburg. Everybody from Jersey migrated to the fucking the Poconos area and out into PA. I don't know what the fuck that's about and shit, but that's what they did. They got out of Jersey, but not far enough for me. Shout out to my cousins, man. I love them. They grew up in Orange, New Jersey. In Orange, New Jersey, Berryman Street, representing. Yeah, man. I thought more. Maybe I'll do a hat trick tonight. Maybe I'll go live late. We'll do we'll see how it plays out. Maybe I don't want to promise none, but if I do it, it'll be late. We'll do a Insomniac after dark. We'll pull the titties out. I'll tell y'all some shit. We'll riff off. I'll tell y'all some shit. I'll get raw with y'all tonight. I haven't gotten real raw in quite some time. So I do that. For those of you who don't know, I'm legally blind, so I do that so I can see if y'all left me any comments. Sometimes I can't tell. Like if you don't have a wrench, like the wrench, people with wrenches show up blue, so I could tell right away on a glance, so, but everybody else is like all white text. I gotta hurry up and get monetized on here so I can have the different colors and shit, be able to identify people better. But we're gonna build it as we fly. We're gonna build the plane as we fly. That's what we've been doing over here. I ain't got no likes. I'm getting upset. Y'all slacking on the likes. I don't know why y'all be guarding y'all likes like y'all giving up y'all virginity or something and shit. What the fuck is that? What's that about? What is that about, y'all? Come on now. Help your boy out. Help your boy out. I don't ask y'all for much. But make sure after this stream or pause this stream if you're watching it on the replay and go watch MHD, Man and Fear Highlights Daily, so you can get the full context of the domestic violence because he covers it. One of his best streams. He covers. He's a consummate professional. He's out one of the better content creators, far better than me. He's well spoken. He has a way of speaking. Y'all know I'm raw. I'm like he ain't me. He's the opposite of me. He's a very well spoken brother. He has a good grasp on content. He's just not talking ish. His production is magnifique. Magnifique. But I'm excited, man. I'm in a new city. I know I've been meeting a couple of crazy chicks already, so this one is like normal. It's like, wow. It's like this is something, um, and checking all the boxes so far. Checking all the boxes. So that's a great thing. All right, well, who we got up in here, ladies and gentlemen? Entering the arena is a friend of the show, our main man, CJ, Through the Fire Podcast, formerly RBN. Make sure y'all salute, salute, salute. Got an OG on deck. Make sure y'all go over to his channel, subscribe to Through the Fire Podcasts. Great content creator. Great content creator. Another consummate professional. Has a way of doing his content too. Remember, he told y'all your mama is a hoe. That's TJ. Salute. He is definitely a Spartan who comes through over here. Okay? We don't play no games, us Spartans. We a Spartan, kick y'all asses out of our lives in a minute. We don't play that bullshit. Be on your best behavior when you're dealing with us lions. So, yeah, definitely trying to get TJ to do this, try to put a production together, a little collab together for maybe election night or the next night or something. I don't know. I just shot him the idea. He might already got something planned with my bestie, Mesty Michonne. So we'll see what we can put together. Do one of them green shows like he did for The Color Purple. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. But we'll talk about it. TJ, I'm sure I got some great ideas. He's a masterful organizer, manager type guy. That's a skill set he definitely has. I have it too, so I recognize it in him. So, yeah. But it takes a lot out of you when you put these productions on. So I'm sure if we do this, I'm sure it's not going to be 10 people doing it like last time. But maybe we can get a couple, keep it under 4 or 5 of us maybe or less. Maybe we could do something. So we'll see what's up, me and TJ, my brother from another mother. We'll see. But this is a good show today. I've been very vulnerable and sharing a lot of my personal shit with y'all. Because I think it's important that men do that, because the older group of black men did not. They didn't tell us shit. We had to figure things out. And when they did talk, to us, they lied. Them old baby boomer ninjas are still friggin' lying to this day, telling old war stories that never fucking happened. And I be listening to them. I'm like, nigga, I know you. Like, I was a teenager when you was coming up. So I wasn't no little kid. I was a teenager seeing some of them dudes come up, that baby boomer dudes telling these war stories today. I'm like, stop. Cornball ass dudes. Everybody was a player. Everybody was a Mac. Everybody was a what was the early entrepreneurs. Everybody was an import exporter. Niggas ain't imported shit or exported shit. Them niggas wasn't even sending postcards, lying and shit. When my cousin tried to tell me that about his father, nigga, my parents grew up. My uncle married my mother's sister. My mama and my uncle shared a locker in middle school. That's how far this ninja goes back in my family. He wasn't never no player or no Mac. That first piece of coochie, my aunt, is the only piece of coochie he probably ever got in his life. And I ain't gonna tell too much, Shout out to my Uncle Andrew. Shout out to my Uncle Andrew. Let me leave that shit alone. Be quiet. But a lot of them dudes had these old war stories, and they wanted to make their sons believe they was things that they weren't. That's something I never did. I never lied to my children. I've always been honest about with my children, good, bad, or otherwise. Here is who I am. Here is your dad. People be trying to tell my kids shit. My daughter be like, I know who my daddy is. I know the bad shit my daddy done did. Like I'm a my daughter Imagine to tell you, she's like, I'm a monster just like my father. You better leave me the fuck alone. Imagine is a beast. Y'all remember when she came on here? Yeah. Shout out to Imagine Leah the Don. That's my daughter. Some of y'all, why you name your kids them funny names? Because I wasn't trying to name my kids Keisha and Malik and regular ass names. Well, all my kids have a name for a reason. It's Dream Ali, Imagine Aaliyah, Sundiata Hassan, and Brooklyn Magic. All of my kids have unique names and names that have a meaning. The day quiz and all that. Everybody remember that whole hyphenation stage that the black community or the black culture went through? The Kumunata. Shout out to Mimi Obsidian, Ali, my colleague. I won't call him a friend, but I call him a colleague. Obsidian gives us those good verbiage. She gives us good, good expressions, and that's what we've done. That's the whole, one of the benefits of Manosphere that Gen X has been able to give to the world. Not only do we give y'all hip hop, we've been giving y'all the Manosphere and giving a whole generation of men, 2 generations of men now, 3 actually, generations of men, the verbiage, the words to express and articulate what's going on inside of them. And I mean, some of you ladies are adapting to it. Some of you are like just freak the fuck out anytime you hear a man express himself. Then y'all talk too much, you into shaming. The sign language comes out. Shout out to Kevin. Rest in peace. But yeah, it's been good, man. It's been good. I appreciate everybody who's came through here to the People's Podcast. I definitely appreciate that. Make sure on your way out the door, on the replay, you hit the like, the subscribe, the share. Make sure you subscribe to Sharonda Bailey. We got to get her up over 100. Subscribe to our TJ Through the Fire podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe to Dr. T. Hassan Johnson so you could learn about the 18-point black male political agenda. That is your homework. Those 3 podcasts, and now Manosphere Highlights Daily. And of course, the notorious CGA. I gave y'all 5. I gave y'all a top 5 for the week. Those are the people you need to be subscribing to this week. Okay? Like, subscribe, and share on your way out. And this message has been brought to you by the red, the black, and the green with the key and the ignition, sissies.